Let's get started by going over the exterior of this camera. This camera has a 12x optical zoom. In 35mm camera terms, this lens is equivalent to about a 25mm to 300mm lens. In the top of the camera, you have the camera's mode dial. Turn this dial to select the mode you want to shoot with. Here's the zoom lever. You can pull this towards the T to zoom into your picture, or push this to the W to zoom out or away from your subject. In the back, you have this mode switch, which allows you to move from the record mode to the playback mode. You also have a movie record button, a few navigation buttons, a main menu button, and a quick menu button. In the bottom, you have the tripod mount and the battery and memory card door cover. To unlock this door, simply move this gray locking mechanism to the left. The door will spring open, and you can access the battery and memory card. Move the battery locking mechanism up to release the battery. This camera uses a nice lithium-ion battery that isn't too bad, but I don't recommend going a whole weekend without bringing the charger. Make sure this arrow is pointed towards the inside of the camera when replacing the battery. There's only one way to replace the battery, so don't worry about it. Press the battery all the way until the locking mechanism springs back into place. To release the memory card, push it in until you hear a click. Then release. The memory card will spring out, and just pull it out the rest of the way. This camera uses an SD memory card. When you place the memory card in the camera, make sure the face of the memory card is pointing towards the front of the camera, or the contact points towards the back. Press the memory card all the way in until you hear a click, then release. The memory card should stay in place. Close the battery door and lock it in place. Go ahead and turn this camera on by moving the power switch over to on. Navigating the camera is pretty simple. You have two menus, a main menu and a quick menu. Because I'm in the auto mode, my main menu will not host a whole lot of menu options. So the first thing I want to do to set up this camera is turn the mode dial to P. The program mode is very similar to the auto mode, which is why I use it most of the time. However, it gives me a lot more control over not only the main menu, but a lot of camera functions as well, such as ISO and white balance. Now go ahead and press the main menu button right here. The first thing that is displayed is the main record menu. The record menu has 5 pages, and you can use the navigation buttons to go through these pages. Let's go down to aspect ratio. I want to change the aspect ratio to 3:2. Go ahead and press the right navigation button right here, and go down to 3:2. The reason I choose 3:2 is because with this camera, unlike other cameras where they just crop the top and the bottom, I actually do get a slightly wider field of view. 16:9 is an even wider field of view, but I'm going to use 3:2. Go ahead and press set. Now keep going down until you get to pre-AF. This is pre-autofocus, and by default it's set to quick autofocus. Go ahead and press to the right and turn this off. The reason I turn this off is because quick autofocus uses up a little bit more battery. Go ahead and press set. Then keep going down until you get to the stabilizer menu item. By default this is set to auto. Here too, press to the right, and I'll go down to set mode 2. Then press set. The mode 2 stabilizer means when the shutter button is pressed halfway, the stabilizer is activated. With mode 1, it's always activated, and that too uses up a little bit more battery. Go ahead and press to the left in order to exit towards the tabs, and go down to the Setup tab. Then go to the right to enter the Setup tab, and if you haven't set the clock, you should do so now. With a new camera, every time you turn it on, it'll ask you to set the clock. This is very important for image organizing applications. Go ahead and press the right navigation button to set the clock. Use the right or left navigation buttons to move between the different fields, and use the up or down navigation buttons to change that field's value. For example, I'll use the up navigation button to change this from PM to AM. Then I'll move to the right and use the up and down navigation buttons to change my hour. Keep moving between the fields, properly setting up the date and time. Then press set to escape. Go down to where it says beep. I'm going to turn mine off because I don't want the camera making a beeping sound every time I press a button. Press to the right. With the beep level menu item selected, press to the right again, then go up to mute the beep volume. Press set, and then go to the left or press set again. Now keep going down, and I won't do this, but I should show you the reset menu item. The reset menu item resets all the menu items we just set up back to their default setting. So if the camera is not behaving the way you're used to, you can choose the reset menu item and try and reset the camera back to its default setting. Hopefully that will fix the problem. Go ahead and press the set button to escape the main menu. Now the camera is set up for taking everyday pictures. My focusing brackets are right in the center where I want them. Place the focusing brackets over your subject. Press the shutter button halfway to lock focus. It's very important that you lock focus before you take the picture. Once the focus is locked, you can recompose the image the way you want it in the screen. Then, press the shutter button the rest of the way to take the shot.